Right, this is a tutorial on how to run a Minecraft server from your own Wi-Fi. All you're going to need is a computer to run it off of, and a good Wi-Fi network, pretty much. That's basically it. Let's dive right into it. So first, I'm going to talk about the networking bit. You're going to need your internal IP, your external IP, and you're going to need to open a port. It is pretty simple. So first, to get your internal IP, you open up your command prompt, which, well, I have mine bookmarked here, but just type in command prompt or type in terminal, open this little page up, and type ipconfig. Oh, I'm doing this on Windows, by the way. This also works on Linux. Should work on Mac, although I've never actually used a Mac. But what you're going to need is this default gateway number. Just remember it, and you can close this out. Then you're going to need your external IP, which you go to this website, which will be in the description. Remember that, and you're done. Then take that internal IP, type it into your search bar here, just hit enter. This is going to take you to your router's login page. Then you're going to need to know your password for this, which if you don't know it, you can get it by contacting your your internet service provider, your ISP. I just happen to know it as I set up my router. You're going to log in. All of these pages are going to look a little different depending on what router you have. But for me, I go to advanced, and you're going to try to find this forwarding port forwarding. They call it port triggering, but same thing. And as you can see, I already have my server set up. But if I didn't, I would just name the application. What do I do? Server. Triggering port is 25565, which is the default Minecraft port. Do that for both triggering and external. And for both of these protocols, you want them to be both TCP and UDP, which in my case, I can do both at the same time by selecting all. For some routers, you might have to do two separate applications, one for TCP and one for UDP, but yeah, shouldn't be too hard anyways. And then I would click save, but I already have one, so I'm just going to cancel that. And then you're going to want to double check that that port is open by going to this website and typing in 25565. And if it says success, then you're good. You can move on to the next step. If it doesn't say success, then I'm guessing something went wrong. Maybe just try redoing it. Maybe you typed in a number wrong. Who knows? Okay, once you're done with that networking, you just need to download and run the server files. Go to this website, which will be in the description. Click on download. And this will come in handy later, so just copy that for now. I'll just leave this up over here. There's OBS. Anyways, that's downloaded now. Let's find it in my downloads folder. And when I run this, it's going to make a few more files. I don't want them to all be in my downloads, so I want to make a dedicated folder specifically for these files, and I'm just going to move that right in there. Close this out. And then I want to run, you can just like double click on this to run it. Well, first you go to your properties and notice how it says read only. Actually, you're going to have to change that. I almost forgot. Then you're going to hit OK. Well, let's just double check. Yeah. And hit apply. Apply. Okay. There we go. On Linux, instead of read only, you have to double check that it is an executable file. Sometimes it's not marked as that, and then it won't be allowed to run. So anyways, let me just... Oh, yeah, there we go. So you can see I double-clicked on it, and it just launched all that. But there's a better way of doing this, where you go here, and you run this command. Although this should just be server.jar because that's what the file is named. And this command allows you can see XMX means the maximum amount of RAM, and this is the standard amount of RAM. So you can set how much RAM you want your server to use, which is nice, which is why I prefer this method. But if I just do this right now, it's not going to work because I need to navigate to the folder that my file is in. So to find that path, you're going to go to this Windows, C, and users, and your name. So this is where, if I open this up, you can see users, and then there's me. That's where I am right now. So I'm going to need to go, because this is on my desktop, I'm going to need to go to OneDrive, and then desktop, and then server. So I'm going to have to do the same thing here by doing cd OneDrive, cd desktop, cd server. Now I'm in the right spot. And now I can run this, although I am going to change it a bit. I'm going to make it 4 gigs. This is in terms of megabytes, by the way. So 4096 megabytes is the same as what am I saying? As 4 gigs. Wow, I forgot how to speak English for a second. And then I'm gonna start that, and it's gonna do this stuff. It shouldn't actually, yeah, it's not gonna run because I need to do this end user license agreement. So how do I do that? And also, actually, let me close out of this for now. Well, I'm gonna go here. Oh, end user license agreement. Open up this file. Make this true. Make sure to save it. Close that out. And run the same exact thing again. Right. Didn't work because this needs to be server.jar because that is what the application, that's what this is named. If I changed the name of this to like server 3 or something, which I'm not going to do, then I would have to make this server3.jar. And I don't feel like changing that again, so whatever. So then I'm going to run that again. And now it will work, and I will come back when it's loaded up. All right, it took about 25 seconds. Actually, that was decently fast. And it loaded up the world and, all the advancements, all that stuff. So this is your little user interface. Although I believe if I X out of this, it might close the server. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to minimize that. I'm going to keep this open here. And if you look back at these files, there's more files now. So this is the world file. This is where all the important stuff is. Your data, data packs, where you can just literally drop files in here to add data packs. I won't get into that. There's other YouTube tutorials for that. Player data and your region data. This is like the actual world, the seed, I guess, is what's stored in there. But there's that stuff. And there's also banned IPs, banned players, ops, whitelist. And so, you're going to want to, you might have to ban some IPs or some players at some point. You're going to want to add operators to your server and whitelist people, but you're not going to do it through editing these. You're going to do it through this console right here. So in order, if I want to opt myself, then boom. Now if I joined, I'm an operator. If I want to ban myself, or if I want to pardon myself, I can do all that kind of stuff through. If I want to whitelist myself, what's the specific command? It's not just whitelist, I guess. Oh, whitelist. It's whitelist add. There we go. Or, whoops. Whitelists remove, or you get the idea. So there's all this stuff that you can do in here, but you don't have to necessarily change anything. You don't have to add data packs. It's all optional because as of right now, using your external IP that we found earlier, which in my case was 184.26. It was something. That's the IP that you're going to give to your friends. They will type that into their server IP on their Minecraft and hit enter and join, and it well, it'll give you a little notification when people join here. You can also use this to look at logs of what people have been doing. But yeah, so your server is up now, and when you want to stop it, just press stop, saves everything. There you go. When you want to run it back up, just go back to your terminal, type in that same command. Although once again, I'm going to have to edit this. Just remember that command, and anytime you want to boot up your server, that's all you got to do, and it'll run everything for you. That's it.